By the way, how many of these do you think you've done for the new record so far? Over
100,
under
Minimum.
hundred.
over 100.
God
It's a lot. I'm getting kind of sick. Not no, not no. It just sucks. It's every time. It's just like at first it's a lot to deal with because it's the nature of questions are usually very deep and personal. It's like, what is the nature of your relationship with the dead father that you never met and will never live up to in your entire life? How was it plumbing the depths of your soul? It's like, fuck again, bro. Really?
That's
So how did you and Eric and Bud and Eric and you grew up? And how did you guys decide did you make Sublime? And are you gonna do you or join it again and do the thing? And see, I can't even fuck. And then the Coachella one, I'm like the one from 2.5 years ago,
yeah.
and it's like, and how did it all come together? And what was the writing process like? I'm like, dude, oh man, people can literally just go look all that up.
Yeah.
So like,
Shit, I'm gonna
yeah,
delete all my questions. I'm just
Yo,
kidding.
this is
no, no,
exactly
but
what the
like,
fuck I wanted.
that's why I like doing these better because it's more conversational. So I figured y'all would get a kick out of that. And
And listen, dude,
Yeah.
we're also the same. We've how many phoners and fucking liners and fucking interviews? The worst,
My
dude.
favorite one, and I haven't done one in a while, but I would get like blogs that would be like, "Hey, can you fill out this fucking questionnaire?" And they're like, "Write a
yeah,
whole
Don't
article
give me a
about it." And I'm
fucking
like,
questionnaire, dude.
yeah, and I've done those too. That is the worst because I'm like, shit, they really just gave me homework.
Yes, yeah, homework, dude. Oh my god.
"Dude, I want to
Yeah,
start with this because the last time we had you on was
yeah, I
right
remember.
after you
Good
joined.
time. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a really good time. You guys saw it from the beginning.
yeah.
Legit. My question is, has this been what you thought it was going to be? Like, because legit, it was right after your first performance. And we're like,
Yeah.
we don't know what the fuck's about to happen, but something awesome might happen. Has it been what you thought it
Mm.
was going to be?
That's a really good question because I don't know what I thought it was going to be. Tell you the truth, looking back, I don't know what I must have thought I was getting myself into. But I suppose it has been a big surprise, a huge change in my life. But not entirely an unwelcome one. There's lots of good that comes with it. It can just be a stressful gig like anyone else's job. You know what I mean?
Mm.
There's challenges and ups and downs, but ultimately at the end of the day, I'm fucking happy and I love my dad and a lot of people who mean a lot to me and close to my life seem to think I'm doing a good job and those are the only people's opinions who matters.
I mean,
Dude,
bro, we're gonna get into the record because we were all just talking. We're sucking the record's dick off air, and we're gonna get into that.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you guys. I'm glad you guys listened to it. Thank you.
mm.
Well, I think the thing I want to talk about too is because you were working as a musician prior to this all happening. Like, as
Yeah.
opposed to fucking gutting it out and trying to do shit, as opposed to jumping into like this giant machine that is Sublime. Like, is there parts of the old way you miss where it was just kind of almost nonchalant and it was like, I'm putting
Mm,
myself out there, but there's no
mm.
expectations.
That's a great question, actually. Yeah, that has been the biggest unexpected surprise is, your whole life you think all you do is want to play the biggest shows ever, but and maybe it would have been different if I got there with one of my own projects. But to tell you the truth, I'm kind of glad it happened this way because it showed me how much I don't know. It might be it sound kind of weird, or privileged or spoiled or whatever. And I do feel really grateful we get to play such big shows in relation to all the other musicians who probably dream of that. But to tell you the truth, it has lost a huge level of the spark of the enjoyment of getting to play. When there's that many people, it's just not. I can't even tell if the guy in the third row is understanding what the hell I'm saying. Like, and I personally think it's listening to music on that giant, like as a listener, you're paying these ridiculous ticket prices to listen to music that actually sounds kind of worse. Like I think it's led me to start to say that I think that shows have gotten too big. I think there was somewhere around the 60s or 70s we kind of fucked up and we should go back to there should be like a legal limit. Like you
Mm.
only 1,000 people can gather in one place. Like
The
Yeah.
even that's
barricades
pretty
keep
big.
the barricades keep going further and further back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude,
Stop.
exactly. And you're squinting up there trying to
Yeah.
see these people you like, but everything's just so loud and noisy. And sometimes the sound sucks because everyone is talking and shouting too. So it's muffling everything. We forget that. It's like, it's just not a really good environment for like, you know, connecting with an audience or portraying. We just played this Field of Dreams show and I think I kind of did poorly. Like, it just was, I was just exhausted from just all the fucking work we've been doing. And then talking to everybody all goddamn day who all wanted a piece of it. I finally get up there and I just can't hear shit. And it's just like, oh man, it was really stressful. And I think I pulled through and did justice to certain parts, but it was just not my best performance. And then I was just so worn down from all the work we've been doing leading up to the album release. And then after the show, I had to drive straight to my uncle Miles is from Slightly Stupid. He's got this spot called the Harp, a bar that he owns in San Diego. And we were going to play an after party there, my band Jacob's Castle. And it was just a tiny bar after party for me, 100, 200 people. And that was one of my favorite shows I ever done in my entire life. It was like so
Hmm.
rejuvenating. I'm like, oh, wait, music didn't used to be something that would take energy out of me. It used to fill me with energy. Like, what the
Hmm.
fuck happened, dude? And that's the truth of it. And that's not to disparage anything or stuff, but some people get bummed when they say that I wouldn't want to make another Sublime record, but it isn't just because of that. It's also because I have respect for it. I wanted to just add my part to it, and then that's it. And respectfully continue onwards because I don't want to end up hating doing music, man. But
Yeah.
going up there and
Well,
trying to just fulfill this role and sing these songs good and accurately, like for these giant audiences, it's sort of like a day job. And I want to create with my best friends and
hmm.
interact with small audiences.
Hmm.
Bro, you ever hear the phrase like if you eat too much of your favorite food, you're gonna want to hate it?
It's
That
like
kind of
eating
can be
nothing
what
but
it is.
sugar. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that is right. That's good.
I think the cool thing for you and like looking at it, because once again, we caught you at the beginning of this. So like you were coming out of your scene, right?
Yeah,
You have the
completely.
opportunity now to go fucking do so much for your fucking scene now. You know what I mean? Like there is a
Oh,
positive.
thank you, man. Yeah, dude. I look at it like that too. That's where my heart is. I have a record label now, Sunburnt Records, with my friend Zano, who is my guitar player and is many bands in our scene, and is now playing guitar for Sublime. So yeah, it's like using this period of I'm happy for all the the spotlight, because I want to use this to be like, hey, there's lots of amazing bands coming up in Southern California that are inspired by Sublime and that era and their contemporaries, and that's all we want to do with our time, is keep pushing that and telling people that really, it's been fun. The band got big. We got to travel around the world, but like, let's bring it all back here, dude. I would play 100 Sublime shows next year if they were all like 800-person
Yeah.
venues only in California.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
That's
But
what
and
it
this,
is with us, man. It's our local thing, man.
but that's like the spirit of Sublime, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
it's weird that there's certain bands that I think it's weird to think about in fucking arenas or like giant stages. Do you know what I
I,
mean?
I agree. We're not a pop band. We're not Olivia Rodrigo. That's why it's weird to see our album saying #2 underneath her for the release radar. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are we number 17 on the current release records, like right near Drake's new fucking Iceman or whatever? Like, this is so weird. Like, why is that's sort of like the theme of this of Until the Sun Explodes? It's almost like, what? How did this band get this?
Yeah.
I don't operate like that. Like, I refuse to be like it's almost weird and insulting when some people like I'll meet just people they're like, oh my god, you're like a rock star. I'm like, no, I'm fucking not, dude. I'm not Nikki fucking Six, dude. I don't like what are you talking about? We don't have like fucking parties where we dip our balls in cocaine and rub them all over each other or whatever the hell rock stars do. Like I literally go like fucking fish. I'm like just in my local hometown. Like you fucking walk around, you'll bump into me guaranteed. Like I just object to all of that like arena rock culture or whatever. Not no, whatever. It's cool for the people that do it. It just happens to not be our
Well,
thing. That's all. I don't object to it, but it's
there's
just not
something
us.
about like that live record your dad did where it's just him and the acoustic and
My
everybody's
favorite one.
talking, right? Everybody's talking,
Favorite
the
one.
beers
Yeah.
are clanking, and like that was sublime to me. They were the band in the corner of the room that just happened to be the
Damn.
coolest fucking band you heard. And so yeah, I could see the disconnect between like big stages and stuff like that. So I hope you guys do a
Yeah.
small run. That'd be real fun.
I would love that, man. And yeah, you hit I hadn't thought about that in a while, man. It's that album is my favorite
Yeah.
Sublime. That's my favorite one of the most inspiring
Hmm.
things for me as a creator is that because it's real and you can hear people being like talking and referencing back and like
Hmm.
and man, that's how it feels like when I'm playing with my friends.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's honest.
Jane and Carter and
Yeah.
Max and
Yeah.
Freshie and
Yeah.
Eighth Ball Boys and Ian and fucking
I mean, there is a question
yeah.
here within this because like I want to talk about the records, like because I talk about Until the Sun Explodes. Like I hear all the different records in different spots. Like I have reference points for like, oh shit, that's Robin the Hood. Oh shit, that's self-titled. But
Right.
when you were doing this, and I don't mean to go into the fucking cliche, like when you were making this record,
No,
did
I
you
like
actually
this one.
did you pull from anything else like besides like the source material, or
Mm.
were you what were you listening to when you were fucking doing the record?
Oh, that's it. No, that's a really good one. Yeah, we were listening to a lot of also the source material that inspired Sublime. So all their, you know, musical influences. For us, that sort of looked like Minutemen, Butthole Surfers,
Yeah.
Bad Brains,
Yeah.
um, NWA, you know,
Fuck yeah.
KRS-One, King Tubby, Jacob Miller, Johnny Osborne. A big eclectic mix of a bunch of different things that we knew were pieces of Sublime, and that they really looked up to. And so that was going into factoring into decisions we made sonically for the record for sure.
Was it I don't know if it's too close to the chest, but was it a pain in the ass to do? That kind of to like feel like you had to
Mm,
do homework, as somebody who like I make records and
yeah,
like don't give me fucking boundaries and borders and
yeah,
this and that's got to be this. Was it a pain in the ass or did it flow like
yeah.
salmon of Capistrano?
That's a good way. You know, I wouldn't describe it as a pain in the ass, but it definitely was a challenge. It was, yeah, just like you said, as people who make records, right? We want to just be fully creative and just go for it. So this was a lot like being given an assignment, even though, you know, we're sort of giving it to ourselves, but we wanted to take it seriously. Okay, here's the assignment. Let's make our assignment was, can you even make an authentic sounding, sublime sounding record
Mhm.
without being like some AI loser or fucking, or just doing like, what do you call it? Like without just fully imitating. Like, can
Yeah.
we celebrate and do this and not even innovate on the sound, but not fully innovate it? Can we seamlessly contribute to the canon and the catalog? That's the assignment. So part of doing that was, yeah, there were a lot of rules. There was a lot of homework. There was a lot of studying everything ever released by Sublime and all the bootlegs. And every time they ever even had a conversation with each other, jammed in the backyard, every performance, every influence of theirs, and studying all of their works and what influenced them. It was a history lesson. It was, and then going in and actually recording it, getting the sounds right. For me, my vocal performance, just like agonizing over it, like, no, no, it's not close enough. It's not good enough. And just constantly going and going and going. We really worked hard, but then there was also this beautiful element of like, okay, because we're trying to get it so close to the original, it's sort of like the recipe calls for you also to not be
Hmm.
respectful in a weird way. You had to learn the book and then burn the book. It's like we
Yeah.
also, part of the recipe is not giving a shit and just having fun with your friends and fucking not caring and just throwing shit up against the wall and being crazy. So we had to throw that in there too. And so I think by the end of it, we were all like really feeling like we had at least done the best we knew we could possibly do. And then so to release, have it be released now and have people like actually interact with it in the way that you had hoped is a completely indescribable. It's so rare.
Hmm.
When does an artist actually release a work and then the people are interacting and viewing it with the way that you had hoped? It just,
Yeah.
what it made us feel like is that because we had put in so much time, effort, work, and homework and really cared about it, but at the same time just treated it like a fun experience with our friends, that something we did must have shown. And you know, it really, no reception of that record meant anything until I talked to my uncle Miguel about it just last night, and him saying and accepting and approving of it.
Mhm.
Him being my dad's best fucking friend and the original fucking guitarist of the band and producer. I just knew that we had done something right.
Sounded
I
like it
mean,
was a heavy lift.
yeah,
Heavy,
that's
Yeah.
definitely what I would describe it as.
heavy, man. It was emotional.
Yeah.
So it still is. It's
How long
it's
did it take to
emotional.
make it? And I don't mean writing,
Uh,
like jumping in the
oh
studio,
yeah.
like studio time.
I would say we started about a year in, maybe.
Yeah.
No, maybe a year in was like, I guess I don't even really know. The whole process feels like it took about a year.
Yeah. 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 That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
So
Heavy
not
lift
Do you
terrible. You know, a lot of albums take forever.
do you
forever, dude.
feel
Yeah.
do you feel like, because like to me, like over here, my bass player, he texted me today and he said perfectly, Ken, what did you say? It felt like a
It felt like a proper follow up to self titled. Like it didn't feel like it
Thank
was
you,
this
man. That was the
forced kind
goal.
of, like, oh, we have to make an album. And I love too. 22 tracks. Fuck yeah. I know you had some skits on
yeah.
there, but it wasn't like you
Yeah.
just did like 7 songs. Like, okay, that's enough. We can
Here's the
just,
record.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. But I
That means
think
a
to me,
lot.
like what I'm interested in too, because like I'm sure you're fucking in a way, like having process, like going through this process, like once again, dickheads like us are gonna come on and be like, so how does it feel to like blah blah blah? Like Are you excited kind of to like have gotten this out of your system now and you've gone through this and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna start making music. I've gotten that point where like, okay, we did the Sublime record. Now, like maybe I can make a record and not have to talk about such deep emotional shit. And it's like, okay, now I can get
Yeah,
back to like
man.
doing shit.
I am interested in doing that, man. I have a lot to say and a lot that interests me, and a lot of great concepts for projects that I'm involved in. The next time I go in the studio with John and Zane and my band, Jacob's Castle, we're gonna go in and finish up the Jacob's Castle record, and it's gonna be called Lord Scumbag, and it has a yeah, it's got a lot of thematics about I think the era of from just these last 4 to 5 years of my life before I joined Sublime and then when I joined Sublime. So in a lot of ways, I do still experiment and explore that. But the biggest thing too that I'm excited about is I've learned so much about how I like to make music by making this record and how to get those sounds. So definitely sonically, a lot of this of Until the Sun Explodes is going to carry over into my work. And I want to now see that album was about keeping it respectful and like, okay, I'm so happy it sounded like a proper follow up to Untitled or self-titled. That is fully what our goal was. So now it's like, okay, now how would I innovate upon this sound? Now my band is like an appropriate like zone to do that. And I hope people be interested to where I kind of see Southern California, West Coast alternative music heading towards.
Fuck
Sounds
yes.
like taking on this fucking insane weight and responsibility has just allowed you to
Thank you
move
guys.
far up for your own band in a great
Totally.
in a great way.
Totally.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, I do want to chop it up about the record a little bit because, like I said, all three of
Yeah.
us were like, holy fuck. Because I'll speak for like a listener's perspective. Like we all grew up on this shit, so it's like
Nice.
high expectations, but also not high expectations because I feel like I've seen bands do this before where they go in after the fact and it's like, yeah, that's fine. Like it reminds me of the old shit. I will say from the jump here, I was blown away, one by the Sonics, and
Thank you.
two, you said you were obsessing over your vocal performance. Vocals sound fucking great.
Thank you, man. There's no tuning or anything like that, or not even Melodyne. We kept
You can
everything.
lie. That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah, no, I mean we can fucking release the stems. Like I do that in Jacob's Castle, and fuck, it's really fun to play with Melodyne and make shit sound weird. But no, it was a big part of us. Like we really wanted to make it authentically in the way that records were made, with some modern luxuries and shit like that. It's the record's not the tape or anything, but we really wanted to go in with all the correct old equipment and the correct stuff. Every vocal take and performance is just done with the fucking it's the SM7 mic just sitting there in the fucking room.
Hell yeah.
And you're literally in the room with everyone around me. Like we're just singing. There's no booth. We're just singing it with everyone just sitting there. And like how you track guitars or bass or whatever. And yeah, dude, it really felt it took a lot to get there, but I'm happy with the result.
It's funny. My wife heard it. We were listening to it together today, and she's like, "Name me a better singer substitute replacement that's ever
Oh,
happened.
thank you.
Ever
Ooh.
and
That
I
means a
even
lot,
went
man.
fucking googling like which like children of whatever of it, and there was just like maybe a guitar player here, whatever. But I was like, shit, she's right. Like I don't
This
know.
is a good question though. Who
Yeah.
is besides your who is the greatest replacement member of a band of all time?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
replacement
one.
member or
Yeah.
child.
I'm saying
Well,
replacement
just a
just the fucking
replacement member.
because I got my answer. Fucking Brian Johnson from AC/DC, filling in for Bon Scott, is a fucking crazy.
That's true. That's a
Yeah,
really
that
good
worked out
one.
pretty well.
Yeah, yeah,
That did work out good. And I was kind of thinking, didn't they have what was the name of that dude they had singing for the Queen's songs for a while?
Oh
Adam
yeah,
Lambert,
Adam Lambert.
Yeah. People
fucking
seem to think
stud.
he did a really good job. That was some press, and I'd look back. I'd be like, okay, here's where because singer's a tricky role to fill in.
yeah.
It should be like
Mhm.
because a lot of other things can fill in and people might begrudge or moan, but as long as the song is played accurately, then they can't really say too much. But singing is like no matter how accurate you get it, it's still going to be slightly different.
It's
So
gotta be just right. Not on a hard left turn. My
yeah.
girl Emily Armstrong just is the new singer of Linkin Park, and
I
I
was about
like
to mention that. I was
right, and
just about to
everybody's
mention
like,
that.
"How's this gonna work?" And I'm like, "You guys don't know her. Like, I promise you, it's gonna be fucking awesome." And it was.
She's fucking amazing, dude.
Rare. Really
Yeah,
good.
dude, and people seem pretty stoked about that. Like there's lots of precedent for this happening. I think it's like why our situation seems so interesting story wise is because you have two overlapping things. We've had a lot of kids coming in to fill a role. We've had a lot of new singers coming into pre-established bands. It's very rare that those exact two things intersect with a band that had so many people who were curious to see it at the time.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's you did a fucking phenomenal job. The band sounds great. Everybody sounds
Thank
fucking
you,
on top of
man.
their shit. But like, my question as a listener is, did you guys try and purposely incorporate aspects of each era, right? Because I heard 40
Yeah.
acres, I heard Robin the Hood, I heard everything. I like as I went down, I was like, oh, there's the Waiting for My Ruka. There
That
is
song with
the
Fletcher too. Like fuck, man.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe that came across. That's exactly what our goal was. That makes me really happy. And I'm just hoping now, looking back on it, wasn't too on the nose. But yeah, there were points of every song where we wanted to give little references to riffs and memorable things and parts of other eras of the band and different parts of the songs, while still then taking in a different direction, because that was just sort of like, I don't know, us giving thanks and like not wanting to, like I said, destroy the sound. Like we could have been maybe a little bit more brave and ventured out, but that this didn't seem the record for that. It wasn't our job to, at the very least, we wanted to make something that could fit underneath the rest of the records and not be just be within the same conversation as them. That's the best possible thing. Where you're not going to beat mythology. You're just going to be able to honor it and exalt it. So we'll take the sound further with our other projects.
I'm excited, man. And honestly, like
Thank you.
I'm thankful that this is the record that we got. Me and Ken were laughing because you always talk about your uncles, right? Like different
Yeah.
guys in the scene. G Love's our uncle just because we're Philly guys. So fucking
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I
dude,
call him Uncle G as well, dude.
bro,
Garrett's the fucking best.
he legit like my all-time guy.
I love
Did you?
Philly, bro. I fucking
I,
love Philly, man.
I
Fuck.
feel like Ken said to me today, he was like, "Yo, I don't think you can legally do a reggae rock album without G Love having a feature somewhere." Like,
He seems to pop up on a lot of, I mean, it's like stupid. I think he
yeah,
did something with the Expendables. He's just,
Pepper, yeah.
Pepper, yeah.
That's sort of
So
funny, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't really realized that he had done so much in that world, yeah. Because to me, I just think of like just like this like classic hip hop legend kind of vibe, like blues rock fucking legend. Like
yeah,
he was one of
he's a
the
goat.
first. He was G Love was one of the first concerts I went to as a kid. I was
Same.
just talking about this with my uncle Miguel last night, and maybe I shouldn't tell this story, but whatever. You'll get a kick
Fuck
out of
it.
it. I remember, from my perspective, I remember being like, I want to say I was like 4 or 6, but Miguel seems to think I was like 8. But the G Love was on tour, and he brings a bus to the House of Blues in Hollywood. It's not there anymore. I don't think it is.
It's not.
Anyways, I come on the bus to say hi to him with Miguel and my mom, and G Love, I guess, asks me, he goes, "Any song you want to hear tonight, little man?" And I go, "Night of the Living Dead." And he's like, "Oh, we don't really play that one, man." And at the time, Miguel was saying his drummer was the guy who wrote it. And then the drummer made some comment about why they don't play it. And apparently they got into a huge argument over about it. And then a fight. And he threw the drummer out of the bus, and the guy like broke his leg or something like that. And then poor Jimmy, the fucking bass player,
Yep.
he's like, he ended up throwing out his back or something like that, or hurting himself. And so the next morning, I remember Miguel was telling me that he remembers that he was going to go, like do some production work for another project. It doesn't matter. But they were going to send a car for him to do it because Miguel was doing 50 million things at the time. But the car company was out of cars, so all they had was limos left. It was just like an extra, like, oh, weird, a limo came up. So he's waiting for his limo, and he bumps into Jimmy or something like that. Jimmy's like, the bass player for G-Lo. He's like, fuck, I got to go to this chiropractor. I got to call a cab right now. I'm in fucking pain right now. He's like, you don't got to call a cab right now. And the limo pulls up. Jimmy hops in. He's like, oh, cool. Everything's all good. So apparently the way that it went later after the drummer got pulled out, like Jimmy was mentioning, he's like, yeah, and those Sublime cats, you'll never fucking believe it. They're just driving around in limos like it's nothing. And then
Guys just living the fucking high life.
Yeah.
years later, you were talking about, G-Love featuring on shit. He comes over to Miguel's house to feature on some shit with the Miguel's doing with reggae rock records or whatever. He thinks he's pulling up to a studio. He pulls up to Miguel. It's funny if you know Miguel's house. It's a very modest, it's a nice home, but it's a little townhome in Long Beach. He pulls in and he was like, damn, Miguel, it's a nice place and everything, but I thought, what happened to the limo?
So basically,
We're not like that at all.
6-year-old you just completely fucking snowballed an entire band for a night. You
Dude,
got people
that's
beating the shit out of each other.
Bro, rock and roll history. I felt he told me that. I was like, no, it's all my fault. I just love that song and they never play it.
You fucking said it, and instantly the entire energy of the room just got dark. You're like, we
Yeah,
don't do that one. Why
Yeah.
is that,
we don't do
G?
that one no more.
Yeah, Jesus
That's
Christ.
so funny. So yeah, dude, G Love, fucking legend. Honor to have him on the record, man. That's the example of what it ought to look like. I've been on tour with G Love and Special Sauce. Opening up for him is Jacob's Castle. That's how it should fucking get, man. He's driving around playing shows anywhere between 500 to like 1,200, sometimes more, sometimes whatever. That's the range all over the country. He's got a nice bus where they're comfortable. They get day rooms, and it just you just got to figure he's a rock and roll legend. Him, dude, Mike Watt, man,
Yeah.
Yep.
fucking butthole servers. Like these are people. My uncle Miguel. Like these are examples of how it's supposed to be done. Doing rock and roll, like there's a long standing tradition and history all the way from back from the fucking 40s and 50s. People traveling around in unsafe steel metal contraption buses in the
But
South.
bro,
Like
here's a question. This is more of a fucking overall like industry societal question. Are bands gonna be able to do that anymore? I feel like the only people who can really do this shit right now with the economics of it are people fucking doing private jets. And if you're doing
that's the
buses and
problem.
shit, if
Yeah.
you don't have the history of a G Love and you have the draw of a G Love that he built over 35 years, like it's nuts. It's a fucking crazy situation to be in right now.
No, you're right. It is. It's something I should mention is that there's not everybody has the fucking luxury, dude. God knows I didn't for a while. Like it was actually really uncertain and terrifying for most of my early career playing around and to nobody. So even though that is like the traditional way, sometimes it's really soul crushing for new musicians, and there's no money in it, man. That's just a fact. I think it will change to doing something that unfortunately we has to just be like a passion thing. Like I don't see unless you're already all the way at the top and then you get lucky from your passion to make money for it. I think it sometimes it is crazy and unrealistic to think that our passions are also going to support us in our lives. I know it'd be nice to only do that, but to the people out there, like take it from me, like you don't only always want to do. I still have hobbies and passions, like so it's still a job, at the end of the fucking day. So it'd be rad to get to do that, but it's just all I'm saying is it's not the end all be all. And it is a crazy desire, but you also have to be crazy to make it an insane
Oh
industry. And
yeah.
then there's so many different little things you can carve out for yourself as working in entertainment that I think are viable and cool and a role that needs to be fucking filled. So yeah, I hope things change and I hope there becomes more rules about artist hospitality and getting paid more and getting paid fairly and I would personally love to see this be just like a viable, like I'm going to be a traveling fucking musician
Yeah.
and go do this shit.
Dude,
That's the
it's
thing. I
like
feel like
I talk about all the time. Like Spotify streaming's been around for almost 20 years. They still ain't figured that out. Good
nope,
fucking
no idea.
Exactly.
fuck,
Nope.
dude.
Fuck yeah, fucking true.
The thing I think there is a misconception too. I think like I say this on this podcast and people like are like, well, that's a really dour way to look at things, but like the idea of the rock star thing now is not what it used to be. Like
I agree.
unless you were like a Disney Channel kid, it
Right.
doesn't seem like that's a thing anymore.
Right.
I think a lot of people just want to make a living playing music and they're not asking for fucking private jets with fucking fireplaces in them like Led Zeppelin. They're just like,
Yeah,
can I just
dude.
live?
That's such a good point. Yeah, can I just connect with my niche audience, have this be my
Yeah.
life, and this is my mark and interaction with rock and roll history. This is my contribution. This is me stacking my fucking chips onto the mountain. And I like that realization, man. That's fucking awesome. I mean, sure, dude, wouldn't it be great to be the next fucking Beatles and change the hit course of fucking human history or whatever? But I'll be real with everybody. Might be a hot take. I don't think there's been a next Beatles since the Beatles. I
That's
don't
a
think
fact.
Nope.
you know what I mean? I don't think we've eclipsed like the cultural relevancy of like there's been big moments, don't get me wrong, with bands, but it was all brand new to even assume that music could be that big when there was that first archetypal pop band and people, their shows got so big they it was unsafe for them to even perform show. Like we've maybe upgraded them in terms of like opulence and excess, like you said with private jets and shit like that. But I think that's where maybe it is time. How many different things go in cycles, and you just take an honest look at it, and things begin to change in interesting ways. So yeah, fucking awesome conversation, man.
There's a great clip, and I'm gonna leave it on this Conan
Yeah,
O'Brien's podcast. recently talking about if the Beatles came out today, before they even hit the fucking Ed Sullivan show, people would have been sick of them because you would have had all the
Yeah.
social media commentary about like them in Hamburg and them playing the clubs over there in Germany. And then by the time they hit America, people would have been like, I've seen enough of these fucking guys. Who's next? The Beatles never would have been the
Damn.
fucking Beatles if they existed today. The music
No,
would
you
have been
really
there, but
can't.
like the fame.
You really can't do that. Like that's so true. Wow, or like if
There's
you think
been
about
one artist that's done
yeah,
it, and it's Frank Ocean because he just
yeah,
fucking left. That's it. Frank's the
that's a good
only
point.
one who found a way to be like the Weeknd's mysterious in an annoying way.
Sure.
Frank Ocean is like mysterious in like an actual mysterious way because he literally said, "Fuck my fans, I'm just gonna go hang out in Japan." That was it.
The
Crazy.
small amount of optimism I have left about everything you guys are talking about is lifted a little bit by I feel like people want honesty, people want genuine music generally, whether they know it or don't.
That's true.
And I'm
Yeah.
hoping that the bands that focus on fuck it, go play to nobody, go do this, go eat shit, go whatever, dig some ditches, and then you see a band like Turnstile, like 'em or
Yeah.
love them, who's been a band for 15 years, starting in the gutters of Baltimore and working their way up without
Mm,
doing all this extra stuff. You're like, I'm hoping that people still gravitate towards that and less manufactured stuff.
And bro, even after this
I agree.
conversation, like how sad is the entire Oliver Tree situation? Someone
Oh,
who
dude.
fucking really was like this authentic ball of creativity and did all that
He
wild
made
shit.
so many people
Dude.
smile, man.
Dude, he really was. Right before his death, about a month in, we started hanging out, and I wouldn't
Oh
say we were
shit.
close, but he reached out to me fucking first when I first joined Sublime, and then finally we met up in Denver right before our Red Rock show, and he's just the most like true artist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
truly is, man. So I just
He made so
yeah,
many people
broke
happy,
my heart.
man. It's so crazy.
He was the person on this podcast whenever we would talk about like the dire straits of creativity in the industry. Kenny would always go, fucking Oliver Tree.
Like those onion, onion, onion. He was so fucking funny, dude.
Onion, onion, onion.
Yeah, yeah. He was on
One
that
of the
Logan
few people who knew
podcast.
how to do the internet right too.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
fucking played the internet the
Did it
right
right,
way.
dude. And he stayed, yeah, in a weird way. I guess he kind of still had that spirit of this archetypal early rocker, like an early salt of the earth rocker.
Mhm.
And although he went into a certain sort of stardom, he stayed alternative and like low key in an interesting
Mhm.
way. And like you said, bravely entered this digital era still with the right attitude of someone. Oh, man, I fucking miss him
And
to
he
God to
always
death.
repped Santa
He was a
Cruz, man.
California man
He
too,
always
man.
say he always
Santa
repped
Cruz.
Santa Cruz hard,
Just fuck, dude, that's where my dad went to college, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and his parents were so nice, and he invited me and Zano to this fucking album release party for his album and his documentary that he made. I don't even know if it's gonna come out now.
Yeah.
He made this crazy document. I don't know if you've heard of it, if it's out, but he made
This
this.
is when he was traveling to all the different countries.
Well, this one's yeah. This one's about Antarctica, and he went there.
What?
Yeah, and he stayed there for a year trying to make a record. Is the premise of it? It's hilarious. And then he starts an underground Antarctica rave scene, which is just like a cruise ship with some tourists, like watching him DJ, like with like 10 people. It's
Incredible,
like,
dude. That's it.
Christ.
We want that. Please give it to us. You know what I mean?
Rest
yeah,
in peace to
dude.
the goat, dude.
And he edited him all himself, man. Like I just, yeah, he had a great big speech about how like just weirdness and being bravely different and just he said just you have to just keep creating. You just keep going, keep going, keep creating, and don't stop. And yeah, there's fucking words to live by.
Santa Cruz, man. Let's go.
Bro, I said this before the last time you were on, and I mean this. Like, your seat's always open. You ever just want to chop it up? We won't ask you any
Thank you,
fucking
man.
dumb questions.
No, this has always been the
I
best.
gotta blow
man.
one bit of smoke just to say it. The clear heavy lifting and intentionality of this new Sublime record
Yep.
Thank you.
delivered an album that diehard fans like me and Ken here are grateful for. So thank
Yes,
you for
dude.
doing
Fuck,
that.
that means a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I
That
also
fucking
appreciate
means the
you
world.
threw in little references, just shit that I would imagine would be on a
Yeah.
Sublime record talking about like, I just want to fuck a hooker.
Yeah.
Like just shit like that. I was like, hell yes, this is the fucking Sublime record.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what I'm
all
talking about.
grateful for the
Glad you
hard
get
work,
that.
man. Really.
I'm glad you guys see that and you get that, man. That really, I really appreciate this talk, man, because it's been one of those things where so much has gone into it, and it just feels like a relief. It just feels like a huge relief.
Yeah, good man. Well, enjoy.
Enjoy
Thank
and
you.
please
enjoy
stop
that
doing
veg
press.
and just kick
You
it.
stop doing press.
Yeah.
Fucking hang out, bro.
I'll do shit like this all day, every day, man. These are the fun ones because I love conversations and with peers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just talking about the craft and music and how we look at this awesome history that we're all fucking a part of this shit,
Yeah.
dude. It's big. And so that's where, yeah, to have some optimism, just like we were just saying, I truly believe that I have to believe that this is our people, music,
Yeah.
alternative culture, whatever you call it, just
Yeah.
rock that will survive. I
Yeah.
fucking know it, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Fucking know
Fuck
it.
yeah.
You
And I think you're
delivered, man,
doing
and you enjoy some rest. You deserve it.
Thank you, man. I'm gonna kick it with my cat Fluffy.
Yeah, what's up?
Yo!
Flo? He got no
No.
fluff.
That's Fluffy.
Not one
He's
What's
got
up,
no
dude?
fluff.
Jacob Nowell, fucking man, appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Let's go. Love you guys till the sun
Super.
explodes. Philly forever.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah.
See
go.
you, man. Bye.
See you, brother.
Appreciate
See
you.
ya.